Let me guess. You've tried every study hack on the internet. Pomodoro timers, color-coded notes, fancy productivity apps, and still, your grades don't match the effort you're putting in. You sit there wondering, what am I doing wrong? Here's the truth. You don't have a studying problem, you have a system problem. You see, most students try to work harder, but they forget that consistency beats intensity every single time. Top students don't rely on motivation, they build systems that make good grades inevitable. So if you're tired of relying on willpower, today I'm going to show you exactly how to build a system that practically forces you to get the grades you've always wanted, no matter your current level of motivation. Let's start with this. Your system is not your schedule. A schedule says, I'll study biology at 7 p.m. A system says, every evening after dinner, my phone goes on silent, my study desk is clear, and I open my biology notes for 25 minutes. See the difference? One relies on planning, the other relies on automatic behavior. Your system should be built on 4 pillars: environment, time, method, and feedback.
Let's start with environment, because your brain performs like your surroundings. If your desk looks like a battlefield, your focus will too. Every top performer creates a cue that signals the brain, it's time to work. When I was in college, I had one simple rule. My study table had no distractions, no phone, no snacks, no chaos, just the tools I needed for the next task. That became my mental switch. The moment I sat down, my brain automatically shifted into focus mode. Now, let's move to time. Most students make this mistake. They study whenever they feel like it. The problem, motivation doesn't show up on schedule, but discipline can, if you train it. Set a specific time every day that's non-negotiable for studying, even if it's just 30 minutes. That consistency builds momentum, and momentum builds mastery. You're not training your brain to study, you're training it to show up.
Next comes method. The biggest reason students fail to improve is because they don't have a repeatable method. They copy what others do or switch strategies every week. Your method should be simple and repeatable. For example, 1. Preview the material, 5 minutes. 2. Study actively, ask questions, explain concepts out loud, 20 minutes. 3. Review. Summarize what you learned in your own words, 5 minutes. That's one study cycle. And the key is to repeat that system daily, not cram it the night before an exam. Finally, feedback. Without feedback, your system is blind. After each study session, ask yourself, what worked today? What didn't? What can I adjust tomorrow? It's not about perfection, it's about iteration. The best students don't get everything right from day one. They just keep adjusting their systems until success becomes automatic. Now, if you apply these 4 pillars, environment, time, method, and feedback, your results will stop depending on luck or mood. You'll start studying with clarity, not chaos.
Here's the secret that the top 1% of students understand. Your system doesn't just manage your time, it manages your energy. Because even with the perfect plan, you won't perform if your energy is drained. Think about it. How many times have you sat down to study, opened your notes, and your brain said, "Nope, not today"? That's not laziness, that's poor energy management. So let's fix that. Start with what I call the energy loop. Your system should protect your input, sleep, nutrition, exercise, as much as your output, studying. Because if you neglect the input, the output collapses. You can't pour from an empty tank. The truth is, straight-A students don't study longer. They study smarter by studying when their energy is highest. So identify your peak hours. For some, it's early morning. For others, late at night. Once you find that zone, schedule your hardest subjects there. Save the easy tasks for low-energy periods. Now, the second secret is automation. Most people think motivation comes first, but it's the opposite. Systems create motivation. When you automate small habits, your brain starts associating them with reward. For example, always study in the same place. Always start your study session with the same ritual, maybe making tea, clearing your desk, or opening your notebook. These cues tell your brain, this is what we do now. It's like pressing study mode on command. Next, you need accountability because no system survives in isolation. If you want your system to last, create checkpoints. That might mean tracking your progress in a notebook, sharing your weekly goals with a friend, or rewarding yourself after each consistent week. But here's where most students fall off. They build a perfect system and then break it the moment they don't feel like it. That's why you need what I call the recovery rule. Never miss twice. If you skip one session, fine. Life happens, but don't skip 2 in a row. That single rule prevents your system from collapsing and keeps your momentum alive.
Now let's talk mindset, the final layer. When you build a system, you stop asking, can I do this? And start asking, how can I make this easier to do every day? That shift changes everything. Because studying isn't about being gifted. It's about designing an environment where success is the default outcome. If your grades aren't improving, don't blame yourself, fix the system. If you're burning out, don't quit, adjust the system. If you keep losing focus, don't panic, simplify the system. That's how top performers operate. They don't rely on willpower. They rely on systems that protect their focus, manage their energy, and evolve over time.
Your system isn't about perfection, it's about repetition. Every day you show up, you're upgrading the algorithm that runs your life. So here's your challenge. Today, design your environment. Tomorrow, lock in your study time. Next week, test and refine your method. And soon, your grades won't just improve, they'll transform. Because when your system is right, studying stops feeling like effort. It starts feeling like momentum. And that's how you build a system that practically guarantees better grades. No luck, no stress, just structure. If this helped you, hit that like button, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear this today.